Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa's Psychic Investigator. Hello, huh? Hi, everybody, welcome. Ooh, Rosa's Psychic Investigator. Ooh, little sweater, in case you're a little cold. I hope you had a good day today, living the living the life. All right. So, no, guys, thank you for your responses. Really interesting, really nice, really moving responses about the latest, I guess, two videos, right? Because of that. Just, oh, you know, hold on a second. I just, the light is a little bright. All right. So today is Wednesday, May 20th. And there's so much to discuss. I have done the past, I get at least a couple of videos where there was maybe a little bit less news than I usually cover. But today I got organizing. So I have a lot to go over with you guys, but it was really important to do these videos. Okay. And of course, I'm open to any and all information that may come to me. Okay. I'm here. Crystals. Okay. So let's see here, guys. In 1 second, I'm going to go get some more. I just want to get them. Okay. So let's go. Let's do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information from only from the highest sources that I create the good and all the goodness of us. Okay. So before I start, I just wanted to mention also that several comments have mentioned something that I felt myself as I'm holding the crystals here. I don't know if it's probably a mix of a lot of different things, but ever since I've come here to the little office, I felt this because I felt this advance, like going up on my vibrational levels. And I noticed that several of you have mentioned this, that you have also noticed something about me, that I'm calmer, that it there's just something more open or more calm, just something like that. So that I find it interesting. No, really, I find it interesting that you guys have noticed because I have noticed it too. Okay, so all right, so right. And I know there's always someone to talk about the audio. It is what it is. There's people around me. I have a wind machine that is quite loud so that other people can hear what I'm saying necessarily. And it is what it is, right? So it's not perfectly private because the windows, not the windows. It's basically a tall cubicle made out of glass. So you don't have perfect privacy now. But guys, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I know it may be that the audio is not perfect, but I like this office as is. Okay. And so that means I have to wear headphones. Okay. But everything in life, it's about trade-offs, right? So I'm happy to do it like this. So let's get started. Um, let me go to the next. There's a lot of different subjects. Okay, so one of the subjects for today is going to be uh JDVance and the Pope. So by the way, guys, I'm telling you this, I'm not promoting Canva or anything. So Canva is this app I use to edit videos, but it's so flexible that if I paste the links, they show up like this. So it's good because there's always so much going on, right? And as we're, as I collect the news, it's really good to have I guess an overview of all of the links that I will look into. Of course, there's so much going on that um it's hard to choose, right? It's hard to say which one I'm going to do. But anyway, so the point is that there's a lot going on here about the Pope. So it's something that happened a few days ago, right? Remember when JD Vance at some point went to visit Pope Leo, and of course, with everything happening, I didn't get a chance to look at it. But now there is enough here that we can look at. So the first place that I'm going to start is not any text, any here, a particular article, but a video that someone made here, this one, okay? And I'm going to pause here and then play it for you, okay? All right. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, oh, okay. So I'm adjusting here so that we can look at, oh, that's right, good. Turn off voice isolation. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to play this video because I think you all may share the same feeling I have, which is that it's so interesting to look at body language. Okay, so let's look at these. It's a minute and a half of Pope Leo and JDVance meeting. Let's see.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good. So
That's right.
good to see you. Welcome. A couple of things. First of all, this is a letter from the President and First Lady.
It's just I don't hear anything, but
wanted to make sure I gave that letter at some point. Yeah, of course. So this, of course, is Chicago Bears jersey.
Good choice.
With your name. And hopefully he
They
just
tried to sign it with a pattern, but they got a little nervous. So
apparently
Oh, I see.
did not
Okay.
succeed. Yeah. So I guess there's our kid right there. Ewan.
Okay.
You can probably imagine in the United States, people are extremely excited about you and about your.
Thank you very much. The individual bronze sculpture, the piece is a fragile flower, and we can be partners. Which Pope Francis did not live in, and I may live in. It's
Okay.
totally decided, but
That's wonderful.
Which is right upstairs from here.
Thrilled to see that. Thank you.
For you, and then this is just a letter explaining the sculpture.
I see. Great.
And there's one of these for the secretary also.
Okay. Wonderful. Goodbye. Thank you, and we'll pray for you.
Thank you for being here for the celebration.
Yes.
I'm sure we will meet again and be in contact.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. Safe travel.
okay, so
Right there, Ewan.
Okay.
You can probably imagine.
okay. All right. So guys, I'm going to pause it there and I'm going to stop sharing. So dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Is it the Pink Panther? So I don't know why. Was she a detective, the Pink Panther? I don't remember. But the point is, so we're gonna pause at several little moments here there to look at his body language. But right away, it was so interesting what I picked up. The way that okay, let me just go back again. I just wanted to share this. So we're going to look into what they saw. 1 second. So just thought it was really fascinating. Even I wasn't expecting to pick up something about Usha, but I did. Let's see. Let's go back to that. So we'll look at that face. All right, let's see. Okay. Now, here he is saying hello to him. Okay, I don't want to annotate. I'm sorry. I don't want, there's a little button here. So. Okay, so look at that. Really? Really? No, he didn't think it doesn't think that's my words. So immediately I picked up so many things, but I have to go step by step. But that I know this is how the popes are generally. They're not exactly effusive and embracing it. But this sense of he's guarding himself. He's like protecting himself even from the influence of those people, because obviously under no circumstance is he eluded about who JDVance is. Okay, so let's see. Actually, let me just do it like this because it's actually quite interesting to see it like this. And then he's presenting a letter from Trump, like gross, right? And he's still like this. All right. Okay. And for whatever reason, again, I feel like he is much more at ease when he is with the people, with doing the pastoral work, which is what a lot of uh, priests do, just working with the congregation, with the locals. And I see that he feels very, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but he feels like that's the formality that it's part of the job. But that's not something that he's not interested in mingling with the powerful. And there he is. Oh God, look where I am. Okay, so then he gives the jersey because he's from Chicago, right? I found it very interesting that Usha seemed to actually be her smile was somewhat at least genuine. Like I think she was happy to be there actually. But look at his face. Somebody gave me the side eye. Look at him. No thanks. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Really? Do you think I buy into that? Look at his face. He's like, I have your number. JDVance, I got your number. I do. Okay, here he is. Okay. Hmm. Okay. And when I look at his expression, I also pick up the sense that he's just he's aware that the JDVance wants to influence him. But again, the sense of guard and he knowing that he has his number. And remember, I'm remembering that he spoke against JDVance directly before he became Pope. Right? He said he disagreed. It's not about just some people, right? It's not about putting some people above the others. There he is. Okay. Now, this is what he said. This is this bronze sculpture. La pace è un fiore fragile. So peace is a fragile flower, and that's something he keeps on his desk. I believe. I don't think this was a gift from. I don't think JDVance gave that to him. Okay. Did he? Okay, so did he? Okay, so that's that. And I see. Wow, I see immediately that he feels such relief when he no longer has to deal with him. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Now, so let me ask here. How how did Pope Leo feel about that meeting? What did he expect was going to happen at this meeting and what ended up happening? I see him standing there thinking, oh, evil incarnate is coming to meet me. And Pope Francis, because I think he was very close to Pope Francis, he was one of his main assistants or closest associates, something like that, over there in the Vatican. He knew. It's like, oh, and he's remembering passages of the Bible where it said when you're dealing with the Antichrist, what to do. And so he's keeping the composure because it's saying he's been, in a way, he's been trained, right, to deal with evil. He's not afraid of evil. He doesn't think that evil is above him or has no fear, really. But he has to play this role of the Pope, which is in so many ways diplomatic, right? But he's able to put his preferences aside to fulfill this role, but he's not pretending to be somebody he isn't. He's very calm and embraces his role and embraces. Wow, I see that he thinks that the church needs to take a even greater role in protecting immigrants and protecting the most vulnerable, and he's going to do that for sure. So, so and then I see that he looks at Usha and it's like, oh, there she is, so happy. So he picks up that she is. How does she let herself be bamboozled by this guy? But she wants it. They both are power hungry. Yes. Now, the one thing I did pick up, and I'm going to discuss next. It's among the articles I posted. It's the Opus Dei. So we know that JD Vance is a member of Opus Dei. He's a very radical, far right Christian Catholic, like a lot of like Leonard Leo, Kavanaugh, Barr. They belong to this sect, right? And so it's so right before, as we know, just repeating something, or if you don't know this, so right before Pope Francis passed, he had asked Opus Dei to change a lot of their rules because of the abuse they were accused of, and they had done. Right, I read that article. I sent you guys that article. Not sent you. I shared on my page on YouTube that article describing what they do or they were doing to young women from impoverished backgrounds in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So anyway, now we go to look at Opus Dei. Okay, we have to look at Opus Dei because it's possible that maybe JD Vance, he's a fascist. He's a really like he's the Christo fascist member of the administration. And so I wonder did he go to Rome to meet? I'm sure he got a meeting with Pope Francis, but what are the odds, right? That he could also have gone to meet the Opus Dei people. Now, let me ask also before we go, how did JD Vance feel in that meeting? What did he think? Oh, he's so excited. Oh, wow, I get to meet the Pope. He thinks that's very important because he's a very religious person. I don't want to say spiritual, but religious. So he thinks that's great. I'm at the Pope. I am the highest representative in the U.S. to come have at the Pope because I don't think Trump Trump go to me? No, I don't think Trump cares. He's not. He likes to hold the Bible upside down. Is what I'm saying. So anyway, so so that's right. So he's happy, and it's just like oh, but I feel like he's kind of lost sight of what he was there to do or his agenda or what his agenda is because I don't think he, let's see. Oh, that. One sec. Okay, so going back here, guys. Anyway, I think that JD Vance was distracted from his evil actions because he's just sort of giddy, honestly. And he just loves power. He just loves being, I do all these exciting things. And in a way, I think Usha also felt like maybe this is worth it. Here I am doing something important, something that will also cleanse me somehow. I feel like they both know how guilty they are. So it's interesting. Okay. I feel like, but to be honest, I don't think he actually I think he did go to see the Pope. I don't feel like he met with the Opus Dei, at least not on that day. All right. Okay, let's pause. Okay, so now we're going to an update about Opus Dei. So it relates, of course, to both Pope Leo JDVance because I think he's a member of the Opus Dei, and also this whole hiding and exploiting of women, hiding their exploitation of all kinds, their abuse and such. So here it's a thread. So let's read it. Opus Dei members told to brace for dramatic and historic changes as Pope Leo XIV tackles decades of abuse inside the organization. Vatican sources have reassured Opus Dei victims who have long campaigned for justice that they won't be disappointed as huge reforms edge closer. The latest comes after Opus Dei leaders were summoned to the Vatican last week in one of Pope Leo's very first audiences, showing the urgency he places on the issue. Opus Dei leaders have dragged their feet over the reform since 2022, when Pope Francis first downgraded the organization and ordered it to rewrite its statutes. It took action after serious allegations against the group surfaced in Argentina. Federal prosecutors investigated and have since formally accused Opus Dei of human trafficking and labor exploitation. Since then, Opus Dei twice submitted timid reforms that were rejected by the Vatican and have been due to vote on a third draft when Francis died. It canceled the vote within hours of his passing. When he died on Monday, that's from April, right? 25th. Pope Francis had been on the cusp of signing into a canon a huge reform of Opus Dei, an abusive cult at the heart of the church. Leo's urgency comes amid a new twist. Just before he died, Francis was told how Opus Dei's exploitation of teenage girls extended well beyond Argentina and into Mexico as well. This latest reporting is from the excellent Paula Bistantino, who has written extensively about the case in Argentina. Her piece, The Handmaid's School, is essential reading. Here it is. Current members haven't been consulted on the reforms. One member who has been a member for decades says that only the leadership knows what is going on. Everyone else is in the dark. So, okay, so that's interesting. So he's the author of the Opus Dei book. So this is really interesting. So let me just stop share and then ask the question. But because I think it's important that you guys know the news, right? I know that sometimes people ask me, oh, where did you just get? You have to read all of that. But I think for the most part, people want this in-depth reporting. All right, let's ask. So what is going to happen to Opus Dei? And what, if any, is their role in leading these crazy, like wanting to turn the US into this Christian fascist state? Because Leonard Leo is a member, right? And he's arguably the architect of the judicial reform. So what's happening here? Let's ask. Okay, what is happening about Opus Dei, and how is this going to impact the US and the Christian right? Well, guys, I hate the subject. I don't like, as you know, it's something I don't like doing anything. I choose not to. If I can, I will avoid all these like Epstein related issues. But I see that Pope Francis, for example, when you have the Christmas, I forgot what you call it, you have all the little like replicas of what happened on the birth of Christ. There's a name for it. Like, so basically it's like a display of some sort, right? But it's covered with tarp. Sometimes you have a reform, but meaning a house rebuilding, it's like covered in tarp. So there's all these people around Pope Leo, and he has his hand like as if it's going to lift the tarp, and people are like, no, don't open. And I see Barr for some reason. I see Mike Johnson. Is he really? I'm not sure. I didn't know he was. I don't think he's Catholic, is he? I think he's evangelical, but all these people, powerful people. No, don't. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. And then he lifts the tarp and it shows everything. And they have these faces like, because it's and by the way, guys, just so you know, I know when you hear the word abuse, it tends to be sexual, but what I read in the article, it was not sexual, it was labor. It was like exploiting these women, very poor women, turning them into de facto slaves. They had to work crazy, insane hours. They were promised something and they were never allowed to leave. Okay, there was like this underclass. And it was like, yeah, it was truly like human trafficking. They were basically taken to labor for free. They were promised something, but it was something else completely different. And this it's a very hierarchical organization. Opus Dei is, and so it's this exploitation of vulnerable women that's key here. So, by the way, just so that's what I mean by that. It's a little slightly different from what tends to be the traditional abuse that the church does. Right? I'm not saying there aren't other sexual aspects of this, but in this case, that's what it was. And so, for some reason, I see that he's all that Pope Leo wants is to show it. It's not only prevent that from happening again, but make it these stories of these people have the story has to be told. And they don't want and you know what's interesting is that somehow it relates back to the whole Epstein thing, saying because powerful people don't, it's like the wrong kind of power is vampiric, they're saying. And it depends on exploiting the weakest and creating the facade of their denies people their perfection. And again, it goes back to also to the Oscar Wilde book I talk about sometimes, The Portrait of Dorian Gray. This beautiful, handsome, charming man with this really monstrous painting in his attic. And in this case, the monstrous painting in the attic is the abuse that these people have been okay with. I'd say they have known about and they have looked the other way. So it's like a cult, a very dangerous cult. And it attracts the powerful. And like, so, okay, so it's going to be exposed. Now, is this going to impact Barr? Is it going to impact Leonard Leo somehow? Yes, and that they will lose their status because, oh, I'm Catholic. There's something about them being Opus Dei that the Catholic Church, the connection to the Catholic Church also gave it some sort of like moral authenticity or something. And because essentially what they're going to do is they're going to demand massive changes. They essentially have been kicked out of the Catholic Church almost, right? Like it's something they've lost a lot of power. So that's right. Mhm. They have to get with the times. And I see that Pope Francis and Pope Leo are saying, we are not going to let they're very aware of the power of these people and how they've been working very hard to basically fight against Christ's teachings, right? They want to kind of twist it for their own purposes, for their own power. Guys, okay, this is a little weird. I've noticed, I don't know, I got, a few months ago, I got these new glasses from China, of course. It's not just these, but the other ones too. Because I've noticed sometimes I catch things like on the side of my eye, and I just like I saw this little heart, and then I saw this kid with a hand behind me, kind of trying to hide. I don't know if say no, it's okay, Rose. I'm playing. It's okay. It's going to. I see there's a message from it's a spirit telling me something. It's not somebody on this realm, no. Okay. So anyway, so that's that. I think that's very encouraging. And so that's good. Let me just, since we're talking about it, let me just ask another question. Is the Christian right going to achieve the power that they want to achieve as per Project 2025? Are they going to achieve their goals? So I see this image of the Russ Vaughn, whatever his name is. Isn't it? He is the author of it or something. And he starts to build a little castle. And it's interesting, the image I see. I don't know if you have seen and if you have lived near a beach. In Brazil, you have that a lot. People would build this very elaborate castles in the sand castles. And it's that there he is while he's building this like the base of this sand castle. And then the water comes and just destroys it all. He's like, what we're building it. It was almost no. And then I see Dr. King behind him. And we're here. We're not leaving. Right. They want, because guys, you know this, right? Their whole thing, they hate the 60s, they hate the civil rights era. They want to erase all the gains that we've made. But no, he doesn't. And I see that he has to kind of hide, and even he may even change his name. So interesting. And so he is also involved in abuse himself. So interesting. Okay. So that was interesting. All right. So let me pause. I am aware of the fact that this has been going on for a while. Let me try to see if I can stop the recording and then add it to today's video. And then there's a lot of topics for me to cover. This is just one of them. So there's going to be more episodes right after this one. Okay. And that's that. Thanks for watching. And also, I recorded last week this video of me walking home late at night, and I'm adding this to the end of this video. So again, thank you for watching. Okay, see you very soon. Bye. Quarter to 9, and I'm leaving the office. I know some of you have a lot of questions about, like, a lot of you worry. Wait, this is new for me, guys. By the way, I got this thing on my chest. I'm wearing this random, like, it's like a bizarre necklace. I'm like, it's between, you know, that area. So it's moving. I thought it was going to be, oh, sorry, let's see. Thought it was going to be more stable, but you got the gist of it, I hope. So I'm walking with this, like, random phone necklace situation. It's a little strange, I have to say, but here we are. And so I know some of you worry. You say, like, oh my God, Rosie, you're you know, what you're doing. Look, so I want to show you. This is, like, hold on, it's a little below. So this is, let's see, those stores around. So just to give you an idea, you worry a lot about what's going on. So it's just nice to be able to record it like this. So it's kind of interesting because, guys, you know, when I walk, I know you guys love to see the walks that I do. And it's just hard to hold the phone. I have the microphone on, which is right next to me, but it is hard to hold the phone and look and talk at the same time. So, because you know how it's kind of hard to hold the phone in a way that feels stable. So this is really quite easy for me, actually. So I just want to tap. So you could see, it's kind of interesting, actually. As I move my body, whoo, it moves with me. And, okay, let's see. So you see, there's all these stores that are open. I'm going to walk to Trader Joe's now. So just so you guys know, so you guys can see what's going on. West Broadway. So you see, it's so busy. It's so busy now. There's a lot of bars around. There's a lot of stores. So it's the opposite of, you know, whatever. I know, because when I think of dangerous, like if something's dangerous, it's definitely not when there's people around, right? Usually you have to be very, like, what you call it, you know, the opposite of busy, like, right, nobody on the street. But you see, so this is like some event in a store that just opened. That's cool, right? So you see different people in New York. Okay. So I know some of you will worry, like, oh my God, Rosie, don't give too much personal information. It's okay. I'm not going to show you my building or anything. I'm not walking there right now. I'm going to Trader Joe's. So you know, you could see what it's like. And I really do love this thing, even though it looks, I don't know what it looks like. I'll take a picture later. It does look a little weird, this thing. So that I'm wearing my neck. But you can see trash. Are you there? Orangino? Hello? No. So anyway, this is the perspective of a New Yorker, right? So I just have to hold it because it's sitting between the two girls. You know what I'm saying? So it moves around a little. It's kind of strange. So if I were a man, it'd be flat, you know. So all right. So here we are. Yeah, and it's such a nice. It's once it's warm enough for to go to sit outside, it's so much better. This area is a little touristy, so not a lot of people that are here are not from. They don't live nearby or whatever, you know. Some do, I guess, but most of it is touristy, especially Friday night, right? So anyway, so let's see. Okay, all right, okay. Oh look, oh look, it's a Ferrari. How nice. I don't know anything about cars, but I know it's a Ferrari. Ooh. Okay, let's keep going. So there's a place. There's a line outside it. It's closed now. Rice Kitchen. It's Korean. You know, guys, I love Korean. I have Korean friends. I love Korean things. Okay, so all right, you see across from the street is the subway. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can. We're gonna walk here towards 6th Avenue. Okay, you can hear the classic soundtrack of New York, ambulances. Oh, that's a car. Trash. Okay, you know what I saw? I dreamed. I was like, oh my god, finally they caught trash. Guys, what isn't it beautiful? This is 6th Avenue. That direction is downtown, so financial district, Tribeca. It's nice, right? Pretty. Huh? 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 Okay, so the crossing here on the corner is CVS. You know what? I just looked at my clock, my watch, I'm sorry. And I realized with all this talking, the Trader Joe's is closing right now. It's like 8:58. So it's possible that by the time I cross the street and get there, it will have closed. So
Prayer and energy time. Let's use this time to send energy to people healing and going through complex health challenges. Their bodies need the energy we send them. Bo, recuperating from intestinal surgery at the Mount Sinai Hospital, battling cancer and winning. I spoke to her today and I felt her mother telling me she will survive and thrive. Cecilia, her sister, visits her daily. Cecilia is herself also battling cancer, and she's also winning. Bella is also undergoing cancer treatment. Let's envision her pain free and 100% cancer free. Treatment. Let's send Bo, Cecilia, and Bella energy. Bo, Cecilia, and Bella are fully healed, full of energy, cancer free, and proud to tell this story of great health and recovery. Okay, so just going to be silent for a bit as I send them energy right now. And I hope you do the same. And also, you can think of others that you know, your loved ones, someone that you feel may be in need of energy, and focus on them. Okay? Okay, so let's start. I'll be silent here. for a little bit. Thank you again. Let's create this circle of energy around them. And so it is.